Uh, really good. But we'll wait another couple minutes, get some more
What are
people
you
to
guys
join
looking at
up.
this morning?
Yeah, drop whatever charts you guys want. Drop them in the chat.
Dow is pushing up a little bit. I said 20,800, 900. It's making a push right now.
Yeah, you want to screen share and show DXY?
Natural gas is going up. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, maybe go over some of those too.
All right, so here's DXY. So, I mean, this is the 1 hour. I'll jump up to the 4 hour, get better perspective. All right, we had this large push, large bullish push. Pretty much no retracement. See how it like rode through the MAs
Mm-hmm.
all the way up, right to this weekly area. Now we're starting to see a transition. This is our first break of the MA cross, right to the downside. So this is that transition we always like to talk about. Break of support, tested resistance. There's a bearish variation in here. You see this engulfing, right? So we're going to drop down time frames. Just get a better look and see what's going on. So here's that engulfing right here, these three in a row, right? These three bearish candles. And then we had this lower time frame transition. So, you know, we're looking bearish on this right now. It definitely looks like it's breaking to the downside. Could find support down here around the 100 level, around this 200 EMA as well. But I think for better sentiment, we're gonna have to stick to the higher time frame. We're gonna need a big retracement potentially. Let's see where it pulled back. So it could definitely pull back to the 100 area. That's right near the 38.2. So if dollar weakness, if this is true dollar weakness, yeah, we'll see a retracement to at least 38.2. Form good structure, and then possibly we'll talk about a continuation once we get there. So this is the 4 hour. Just keep looking for confirmations that support this, you know, transition, this bearish transition. So it's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at AU. So right now AU is breaking to the upside. Right, it broke this high, this lower high, and now it's testing this support, this broken resistance testing as support now. So we'll see how this reacts in this current area. It looks like it's crossing the MAs. It's also right at the 200 EMA on the 1 hour here. Let's take a look at the 4 hour.
Oh.
Yeah, very bullish here. What's that, Angela?
Nothing.
Oh, I hear somebody talking.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I got him muted up.
Yeah, I think this could still have some more in it, though. I think we could pull back much deeper. This is just normal market movement. Slight pullback, testing current broken level, right? And then we'll look for those bullish setups coming off this support area. And then we'll just target higher towards the 61.8, potentially towards this 200 EMA and weekly area as well. Remember, confirmations always support the trade. So as long as you're constantly seeing those, then, you know, it's good. It's definitely good and confidence for your trade. Should be a nice bounce here. All right, let's take a look at NCAD because this one's been interesting. So it pulled back a little deeper than we thought it would, right?
Yeah.
Right to the 78.6. It also touched this 200 EMA. A lot of rejection from this weekly area as well. See all these wicks? So much indecision right here. But that could be the start of a significant reversal. I mean, we're seeing it here. You know, this is an evening star. And then here's this other bearish candle. We still have 3 hours before close. So hopefully it makes a bigger push lower. We'll get in on a transition, you know, first lower high on a lower time frame. We'll try and enter on that and then target towards our monthly support. But right now it's looking pretty good, right? It's holding this level. We saw indecision at this level before. If you look to the left over here, a lot of wicks on both sides, right? Generally in the same area. This is definitely considered a lower high, right? We're going to compare to this lower high and this high, right? This was a nice double top, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Well, this would be a high then, because it's just a test of the 78.6. So we could see this drop. This is the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour, see what's going on, lower time frame. So yeah, like it's this level has to break this red zone. I would like to see that. Some closure here, pullback, some bearish variations, and then I'm going to short lower. I'd love to see this 200 EMA turn from support to resistance, right? Get a lower high off this weekly as well. Target much, much lower. So let's get a target, see how many pips generally this is going to be. This could execute in the next few hours too. So we're going to keep this. Yeah, this is a big trade. Over 300 pips if we get down to this monthly once again. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Oh, here's AJ too. Yeah, so AJ broke this trend. If you guys remember, we were looking at this big bearish trend, right? Here's the, lower lows, lower highs. These are the highs, and then it broke it, tested as broke resistance, tested as support, and then took off. But now would be a really nice time for a retracement, right? Get in right around this area. This is going to be our entry area, anywhere in here. If the M may support it, if it hits these fibs and then gives us strong bullish setups, we're going to target towards the negative 27 and weekly level, which is also where this 200 EMA is. So this is a big confluence area to target if this trend stays consistent and just continues. This would be a large amount of pips away. Let's say we got in on the 38.2. Over 400 pips on AJ. I mean, the volume is crazy right now, so I'm just trying to play it safe, get in at the highest probability areas or golden levels with the most confirmation, anything that's going to support the trade, especially at this time, because again, the volatility is just.
What is this, Asia?
Yeah, just a 400 pip move,
A 400 pip move.
Big move if we get it from the 38.2. So just wait for this to play out. Yeah, I'll put this arrow here.
Yeah, much like, the forecasts that we're putting out there, you guys got to realize we're not committed to one sentiment. We're just basing our execution off of, like Nick just said, the most high probability area according to what our rules,
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I see happening right now. I can easily see this come back, hit a retracement, give us a nice bullish engulfing or morning star, something like this, maybe these 4 candles. That'd be cool. Boom, we enter, and we catch the next leg. Yeah, if it doesn't play out, it doesn't play out. It could easily pop back down into this range, right? And then we'll start changing our sentiment then, potentially. But for now, this is what the play is. And it ain't looking that bad. 400 something pips. So yeah, I'll be posting this one once I see once we get closer to execution. So that's what I just marked for you guys. These 3 still stalking these. Angelo, I'm gonna pass this one off to you. Yeah, so this is looking pretty close too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over all the major pairs, and then I'll go over GJ too.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a look, amigos. Get this over here. Majors. For all y'all that don't know how to use, I know a lot of people will be asking with this list, what is this? You go over here on TradingView, watch list, and then they have these drop downs. I created these lists right here, but you can just create a new list. You can just name it. So I have all the major pairs in one. I have all the minor pairs in one. You add the symbols by going here. You type in whatever pair you want. And then you can, like right now, green ones are ones that I have marked up that have potential setups, and blue ones are ones that I'm currently in trades on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can just press right here and change the color of what it is. So let's take a look. Yeah, I know some people were asking about that. Let's take a look at GU. So this is a little trade we put out yesterday. We said to put stops at break even. We pretty much hit almost 2-to-1 on this. So yeah, yesterday we were right at this point. We were consolidating, in this range. I was considering this to be some sort of rectangle continuation pattern right here. We ended up breaking to the upside. We actually shorted, I think at this point, so we were in some drawdown. But yeah, worked out pretty well. Now, what's going on, at the current moment? I'm gonna take this off because we're out of this. So at the current moment, what's going on? Let's bump up to the 4 hour. So as we kind of talked about yesterday, we were trying to long this into this 4 hour level of resistance, which we came to. So we came to this 4 hour level of resistance. Now we're finding, some selling pressure. So we're coming back and respecting this level. A lot of people are saying, should we potentially be looking for sells, in this? I wouldn't say that's a bad idea. Let's just take a look. Again, what I'll do, top-down analysis, weekly time frame, bearish, but I don't see a trend too clearly. Daily time frame, bearish, some candlestick analysis. We've got this, I guess you could say like spinning top, and then we've got another little spinning top, so a lot of little indecision candles, and we have this bullish engulfing that went down yesterday. So we were looking at that to close, and that's what really sent us up. But we just retested this weekly level now, that held as support previously, and now it's acting as resistance. So we just wicked that level. I did, expect GU to make another little push here, but let's go. So 4 hour time frame. This is our lower high. We just retested our lower high. Let's go down 30-minute time frame. Let's take a look at what level, for me personally, needs to break for me to really be bearish on this. And just looking left, I'm going to draw a little zone here. This zone is based on all these levels right here. So this is support right here. This is resistance right here. This is support right here. So I'm going to draw this little zone. Boom. Like this. Bring it down a little bit more. So basically, I'm either going to look at this level to again long back into this area. If we get some price action, I won't long unless I get some setup through the moving average here. So, if I get some consolidation, much like this in this area, and then we find a bullish engulfing or some sort of bullish variation through the moving average, then I'll long. But if we do, and based on just an update that I saw from, I believe, Bloomberg, or let me see, I just got some update. Oh, Market Watch dwindle. Yeah, it might be another bearish day for USD today.
Yeah,
So
it looks that
let's,
way.
yeah,
Definitely
I
looks
think it
that way.
looks that way. Unless we get some sort of stimulus, we're just waiting for that stimulus package. I think when
It's
that comes
failing.
out,
It's not looking great.
yeah, I think when that comes out, there's definitely going to be some bullish, USD. But as you went over DXY, it's not looking too good. So I'm expecting GU to do a little bit of a bounce here to this upside. But at the same time, if we do get a break below here, I'm not necessarily going to short on that first candle, but if we get the break below and then we get this retest and then boom, and look at this 200-day EMA starting to flatline a little bit, but we're still for the most part pointing up. So yeah, GU, these are the two scenarios that I'm looking for. This main level, key level, basically playing it off of this area right now. So USD CHF. This is another trade that we're monitoring right now. Let's just bump up again to the daily and take a look as to what the hell is going on. So pretty much earlier this week, we had closed last week, bullish candle, doji. So doji, nice sign of reversal. We're all the way at this 100% level. So this is our trend. This is the trend that we've identified. We're bearish on this all the way up to the weekly time frame. We're bearish on this. So going from the weekly down to the daily, we're sitting right above this 200-day moving average. We're definitely finding a lot of sellers exhaustion off this level at the moment. Right now on this 4 hour time frame, at this point, ideally we need to break below this level right here, 97,600. It's really really head short on the 1 hour. Pretty much what is going on here. Could be a little bit of a flag if you want to draw that in. Let's see how that looks. We got something like this. Not quite. So at this point, I basically shorted at the break of this level and then this retest, and then we were monitoring this based on this is our key level right here of structure. Basically, if this is broken, this top level right here, this minor level resistance, then I will consider buys. But until that's broken, I'm still in a selling mood on USD CHF. And again, we're just going to try to short this pair down into these lower levels. So I'm going to expect some sort of retest of this 200-day. And look at this 200-day on the 4-hour, just flatlining right now. So I am still expecting USD CHF potentially to dump right now. So we're just monitoring this. Again, I won't consider any buying opportunities until this level is broken, up here. And right now we're just sort of consolidating. So we'll see if we can get a break below here, which will continue us lower. So let's go to USD CAD. This we went over yesterday as well. We'll show the analysis all the way up on the weekly. Last week, a lot of exhaustion. This week, we're within this supply zone right now, down to the daily. Let's look how these candles formed. This candle failed to engulf right here. Then we just get this, very, very indecisive candle. And then today, we're getting some downward movement. So let's go to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame again. Going into this week, I labeled this as a level of structure on the 4-hour, key level of support that I'm looking to break below before I really even consider any major shorts. But at the same time, based on how this started to form, we had some 1-hour structure, made this higher low, made this higher high, retested this higher low, made this lower high, and then going off of yesterday's call, this is what we were expecting. We were expecting the break below, the retest, and we'll get some sort of confirmation to potentially head lower. So we're going to continue to maintain that based on that break. 1-hour structure, we're basically, looking for our first lower high. If we throw on our fib right here from this high to this low, and then we think about, what is an area with multiple confirmations. Right here we got the 38.2. We've got that level of support turn resistance. And then if we look higher, I would consider this to be, I would draw a supply zone up here based on, bring this down, based on this bullish candle, bearish candle, drag it across. So a little bit of a supply zone there. So basically that would be the next level where price previously found, as major resistance or found as major support, if we're going back all the way to here at this level. So those are two levels right now that I'm monitoring. We do have the break below. So I'm looking to short USD CAD into this level down here, but we're just waiting to see what that forms. USD JPY, we're getting this ascending triangle right now, but the reason why I've been cautious, fairly cautious on this is because let's look up on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, we're back at this monthly level of resistance. We're back at this lower high on the monthly. So this would be a lower high. This is a lower low. And then we climbed all the way up. We formed this lower high. Now we're just retesting that. Let's go down to a time frame. We see structure a little bit more clearly. On this daily time frame, this is just our transition break of structure right here, dumped. And then now we climbed all the way back. We're up at these highs right now. We're getting all these indecisive candles, all the way at the top. And then look at this. An ascending triangle is definitely a bullish continuation, formation. And as you can see, we're continuing to be bullish at the moment. We've broken above, and then we had this bullish candle. And then now at this point, we're heading back into this monthly level resistance. So I'm not personally going to be longing this at the moment, but the pattern is there. Like, the pattern is definitely there.
Go back to the 4-hour for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
the
is.
pattern.
The only thing with this which makes it tricky is where this pattern formed, and it's at the
Mhm.
top of this giant news inflicted push, So it's like this makes this kind of out of the ordinary, but it is a
Yeah.
continuation, but it is at a very high level after a push near a monthly, so long term
Yeah,
could see it reverse.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I'm just not continuing this at the moment is just because overall I'm bearish on this. USD in my opinion right now is weak. I'm expecting USD to be weak until that stimulus package comes out. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just going to be bearish until kind of this whole Corona thing. It's very unpredictable right now for sure. So yeah, I mean, this could go higher, to retest these levels, and if I get some sort of setup at this point, but everything right now is pointing towards this going a little bit higher on USD JPY, just from a technical perspective.
Yep.
So we'll continue to monitor this. This isn't going to be too high on my list for now. Let's go to NZD USD. So this trade we were monitoring yesterday on the call as well. This trade's been going pretty well. This was the original analysis
Forming
down
good
in the
structure.
down in this area, down here, retested these levels, and then we're coming all the way up to this right here. Let's go up to the weekly. So last week closed a lot of sellers exhaustion daily. Just do some candlestick analysis, daily candles, spinning top, bunch of indecisive candles showing signs of reversal. And then yesterday we popped up. Now we found rejection at this weekly level. Why do I have that there? Let's go back up to the weekly and see why. That weekly level is based on this. So based on these peaks, so 1, 2, resistance, support, resistance, so this is definitely a key level all the way that we're at. And we found a retest. So we're retesting that level. Let's break it down, 4-hour structure right now. So what we were doing is we were waiting to see what happened at the break of this level. So ultimately we did get a break of that level. Yes, we just hit a major level of resistance. So let me bump down to this 1-hour time frame right now. Let me take this off because that level was broken. As we maintain this trade, basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see what happens at this point now at this level. So I'm going to take off my previous analysis right here, and I'm just going to focus in on one of two scenarios. I'm either uh, based on what price does at this level of support, I'm going to either short this based on a simple break and retest right here like this, or if we find support at this level, and again, do get some consolidation, moving averages, all long based on this level. And let's even bring on our fib right here. We're going to fib from the bottom to this level, to this level. So we're going to fib all the way up. So this is actually like a 50% level down here. So, we'll see how price reacts down in this area. We got our 38.2 here. We got our 61.8 here. So this is pretty much, let me go back. This is pretty much going to be the range at which, I talk about in our course drawing like entry zones. This is pretty much going to be the zone that I'm looking at as price comes into here. That's when I'm going to make my decision on the NZD USD. So we'll look out for that, and I'll drop that analysis in the chat as well. And let's look at Euro USD. So Euro USD, we're getting some bearish engulfings at this point. Let's bump up to the daily, bump up to the weekly. So the weekly time frame, we're at this monthly level of support, which is definitely major. So right now, obviously, knowing that this is bearish on the monthly, we're just focusing on this downward push, and we want to see like what structure looks like. Clearly on this, we're pulling back. We're finding a lot of sellers exhaustion or buyers exhaustion at the moment right now. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So 4-hour, we're breaking some levels here. At this point, could we potentially be forming some sort of double top like at this level? I mean, who knows? Yesterday, our analysis, we had our fib. We had our fib put on from this low to this new high. These were our two zones, 61.8, 78.6. As you can see, we failed at the 61.8 to have any sort of bullish setup. Here we had 1, 2, 3 bullish variation, entry here, potential entries. And then now, as you can see, we went into not a lot of profit, but a little bit of profit. And now we're coming back down potentially to retest this 61.8 area. So on this 1 hour time frame, really until we break below, let's bump up to the 4 hour. So yeah, at this point, I'm gonna still look for some sort of buy opportunities until personally I break below this 78.6 level. Um, so pretty much I'm going to draw two scenarios here. Again, when we talk about using our fibs, we always say that when we get these deep retracements down at the 78.6 and especially the 61.8, price isn't going to just shoot up. Price is going to form a trend. It's going to form higher highs and higher lows. As opposed to 38.2, a lot of times price will, if it's a very strong trend, it will just continue to go to the next projection level. But not at these lower levels. Like you can see price consolidate a lot within this Fibonacci before pushing higher. So we just want to make sure we identify kind of what our main level is. From this original trade, our stops were below, this higher low at this point, kind of close, but probably should have put them a little bit wider. But yeah, so I'm going to monitor pretty much around this 78.6 level. So I'm going to either double up based on that level, or I'm going to look to go lower based on this level. And again, look where we're operating. We're right on this monthly key level. So this is just the perfect area to be making these sort of like price action decisions, because we know previously that when price was at this point, and let's go back out to the daily and back out to the weekly, and we'll autofocus. We know previously that when price was at this level, we continuously acted with a lot of volatility. So price comes up, rejects, and this move right here, remember, we're all the way up on the weekly time frame. So this right here was 250 pips. Price comes up, rejects off this level. Again, 150 pips. And then price gaps up. So price is very volatile around this level, continuously. You see the wick here, and then to the other side, found support at this level, went up, a bunch of pips. So this is definitely a level that we want to look for trades at and potentially get into trades on. And yeah, so again, weekly time frame is bearish, daily time frame is bearish, but as we get down to the 4 hour, we're seeing some structure start to break, find this levels as support. So we'll use 78.6 and we'll play these two scenarios, and I'll drop that analysis. And then let's just cover GJ. We had a pretty good setup on this yesterday. Again, we're not committed to one situation. Like we were in this zone. We were like, okay, if we get bearish signal, we'll go short. If we get bullish signal, we'll go long. We got no bearish signal, break, retest, morning star, right here, bullish variation. So two signals off of this on the 1 hour. And if we were able to get in on those, this is, a bunch of pips. And even if we only caught up to this area, 70 pips, stops, 70 pips. So we would have at least hit a 1-to-1, ratio in this area. Now at this point, let's take this off. And let's take a look at where price currently is. So let's go up to the daily. Let's go up to the weekly. All right, so weekly time frame makes things a little bit more clear. We're still, below or in this weekly downtrend, lower low, lower high. We're back at this low. Right here, last week we closed spinning top. We're forming another, spinning top, but this one is more bullish, at this point. So down to the daily. Daily yesterday was an engulfing. You were finding rejection at these moving averages. But at the same time, these lower time frames are definitely bullish. Look at this. This is very clean. If we just fib this new high that formed, we got 38.2. We have a level of resistance now turned support. But this is all the way up on the 4 hour. Like if we got some sort of bullish setup off of this level again, we would definitely long, into that area. And again, down onto the 1 hour. So yeah, pretty much we're gonna see how price reacts again to this level. We really have all this room uh, to retrace, and the main two levels that I'm gonna look at are the red zone that is highlighted, and then this 618 area as well, because we have the 200-day just creeping up right there, flatlining out. So those are two scenarios on GJ that I'm looking for at the moment, and that sort of lines up with GU as well. So we'll see. We'll see what plays out. Is there anything else you want to cover, Nick?
I mean, I could cover gold. I'll go over gold.
Yeah, go over. You can go over gold. What else did? All right, yeah,
Also
we
cover
covered.
Nas. Also cover Nasdaq for a
Oh yeah,
second.
Tom wanted gold. All right, cool. Here, I'll stop sharing. So yeah, obviously, we've got a lot of different potential scenarios today. There's some that I'm definitely more high on than others.
All right, here we go.
And if I'm not on my charts, it's all good. And I miss the setup, it's all good.
Right. All right, so this pretty much did what we thought it would, right? It popped up out of the zone, continued bullish. Gold is going to generally stay bullish. It's a safe haven commodity. It's in demand right now due to the uncertainty of, other home currencies, fiat currencies. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Right now, I mean, this is a big, big push, right? Back into this area. We're looking to get up to this monthly potentially. So we still have a ways to go, all the way up to 1675, about a 4% increase. But let's see where some potential entries could be. So right now we have a bit of consolidation. I would love to see a flag in here and then like a fib level hit as well. Right, so let's see. We want to get in that first higher low. So 38.2. This is pretty, I mean, this is a big confluence area. You can see the MAs are in this area. It would cross, which would be a good indication of structure formation. So let's go ahead for the conservative. I'm going to say between that minor level and right here. I would like to see something like this. And then we could target the negative 27, right? Something like that. A retest of this support level, this broken resistance turn support, as well as some other confirmations like these MAs, a flag pattern, and obviously bullish variations and setups that would give us more confidence in this trade. So I'm definitely long on this. And yeah, this one's going to play out for sure. This one's looking good. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. This will play out similar to this, and we'll see this monthly area hit again. Definitely. All right, so let's go ahead. Somebody asked about NASDAQ. I'll cover this real quick. I did this analysis, I think, like last week, right? Huge bullish trend, pretty damn steady. One of the craziest trends you'll ever see, probably, since 2014, right? Just pumping higher highs,
Oh
higher
my
lows,
God.
higher highs, higher lows. This is the weekly, right? And then it fell off. Totally fell off. Now we could see it bounce back. This is a large area of support, especially with this monthly, and it wicked the monthly and came halfway back through this zone and touched this other monthly. So it's really going and blowing through zones right now. Still very bullish, obviously. But this, like, it broke this part of the trend, but I would consider this fully broken if we got below this monthly here, right? If it pushed even lower, gave us a higher low around this zone. But if it does pull back, which it looks like it's doing, with this large, right, this large indecision candle, a lot of exhaustion, you definitely see this start to pull back, maybe all the way up to this monthly here, right? A retracement. So like, let's play it as if it is the start of a transition, or the start of a transition of the trend to bearish. Let's fib it and see how far it would go. See, this actually would need to be a daily fib probably. Yeah. See, it's so skewed because it's news related, but let's just say for the sake of it. Right. So at least the 50% is where this monthly is. So it would need to be at least a 38.2, which is above this monthly. It's about this weekly zone. I didn't draw the weeklies in on this chart, but it would need to pull back quite a bit. And then let's drop down to a 4-hour. Right, so this could pull back. It looks like it's testing these trend lines right now. I mean, these moving averages right now. So, I mean, look for confirmations. it would need to do something like this to go long on it. We need to see some sort of confirmed high or low, right? And then a break of this lower high. This over here. This needs to break for this to be long. But for right now, definitely bearish significantly. Just keep, again, this is so news related. Just be aware of what's going on in the stock market. It's going to be heavily affected. If you just look at the US 30 alone, like look at this. Look how this is printing structure. It's just falling off a cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting these breaking support, testing and resistance, breaking support, almost testing and resistance, breaking support, 1, 2, testing again. It looks like there might be, if we see a nice morning star here, this could be the first break, right, of these lower highs and highs tests. So we could see that come back up to this zone potentially here, right? So the stock market is not doing great. It's holding pretty well. The bears are still very much in control. I mean, with a daily perspective, right? Fell off a cliff, absolutely nuts. Here's the weekly, right? Super bullish, all the way back since 2016. Bullish, bullish, big push up here, right? This was the level that broke. Whoops. Right, this was the level that broke here, roughly.
Was this US 30?
Yeah, I'm just showing because this is a reflection of the stock market right now. So I'm just trying to give some perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because any stocks that you're trading right now are going to be affected similarly to this because it's all news related. So, like this would be the pullback, 38.2. This is where structure is. This whole area right in here. So, I mean, just, be careful trading the stock market if you're going to do it. At least stick to the lower time frames because the volatility is so crazy high. Like this alone is a 15, 16% swing. It's nuts. But yeah, so that's what we got for you guys.
Dope. Yeah, so these live sessions we're going to do, especially during this week. Tomorrow we're going to do another one. Obviously these are free right for now. These are normally only available to members. So just keep that in mind. This whole thing was recorded. I'm about to post it up on YouTube. If you guys want to rewatch it, you got any questions, feel free to just DM us.
Yeah.
If you guys are not in the group, in the Discord chat, definitely get in there. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions. So best of luck, for today. And we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow morning. And we'll try to go for the same time, 10 a.m.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
No annotations today.
No annotations. Yeah. We got a better grip on it right now. All right, Bradley. Have a good day. We'll talk soon, bro.